Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing the first example of the third generation Rolex Deep Sea Sea Dweller that I have featured on this channel. New in subtle ways for 2022. The reference number changes to 136660. This is the Deep Sea D Blue variant inspired by James Cameron's 2012 descent to the bottom of the Challenger Deep, the deepest part of the ocean. That inspires the imagery of the dial. So more on that in a moment. But let's talk about the changes through the years. The original Deep Sea came out in 2008. The Deep Sea D Blue with the modified dial came out in 2014. In 2018, Rolex redesigned the watch with a better match between bracelet width and lug size and diminished dimensions, particularly the end-to-end lug-to-lug and end-link to end-link. So there were some aesthetic changes and some fit changes made in 2018, along with the addition of a subtly modified dial with a little Swiss made and crown between, plus a newer caliber 3235. The changes for 2022 are more subtle. So from the outside working in, we may as well start with a thinner bezel. The bezel and the insert are thinner. We now have a subtly chamfered faceted box section sapphire. We have modified lume, and I'll let you judge whether the difference is tangible when we do the lume shot. Then we have a date aperture and date numerals, 8% larger than before. We also have a deluxe version of Glide Lock in the class, but we no longer have the Flip Lock fold-out dive extension. So let's talk about how it wears. Still 44 millimeters in diameter. It's still 17.8 millimeters thick. From lug to lug, it is 51.8 millimeters. If we include just the case, if we include the end links of the Oyster bracelet, it is a substantial 53.6 millimeters end link to end link, and then there's a spacing of 22 millimeters between the lugs. I'll pop open this clasp and throw it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. I would not have worn the original Deep Sea, but since 2018, I've been very pleased with the resized case and resized bracelet. This is now at the point where I could say, yes, if I'm not looking for absolute elegance, I could wear this on a daily basis. It's anchored, it's big, it fills out my wrist, but it doesn't feel awkward. I would wear this and enjoy it. Now you can see, we'll have to zoom out a little bit more even because it's such a big watch. You really need to see it in the context of the rest of my arm. I think if your wrist is my size, you can wear it just fine. Again, my wrist is 16 centimeters circumference, oval across the top. It's not one though for a low cuff. This is going to get hung up on almost any kind of sleeve. Rolex has its own foundry. It makes its own cases, clasps, bracelets. It makes its own alloys. It uses 904L stainless steel rather than the industry standard 316. This is more resistant to corrosion, particularly in the presence of salt, such as when exposing the watch to salt water or sweat. Also worth mentioning here, we do have a titanium case back. This has been renamed RLX Titanium. It now has a nomenclature on it for 2022 onward. Nothing changes there. This was the first titanium component on a Rolex watch before the arrival of the Deep Sea Challenge in late 2022. So we got a titanium case back there, and it's the lowest component of the ring lock system, which constitutes the case back, an internal cylinder that is topped by this print. This is actually the top of the cylinder, and then there's an enormous multi-millimeter 5 millimeter plus crystal on top of that cylinder. So basically what happens is all of this gets screwed together, and then the pressure of the depth up to 3,900 meters helps to improve the hermeticity, cinching down the crown and compressing the ring lock system. Also worth mentioning that as a true dive watch, this is tested to 125% of the ostensible dive depth. So remember, it may say 3,900 meters, but you have to multiply that by 1.25 to get the actual limit as tested. Rolex uses equipment that is created by Comex to help test these things down to their rated depth. Taking a quick look at the buckle, we no longer have that flip lock system. What we do have is the deluxe version of Glide Lock that can be adjusted even when the clasp is closed and the watch is on the wrist. So this little lock opens up, collapses seamlessly in when you're ready to set the size, but you've got 10 stops, 2mm increments, so 10 increments up to a maximum adjustable range of 20 millimeters. Now we've got a spring-loaded beacon hook system. You can see how that works. It's a lift lock that latches down once, latches down twice, thanks to the clamshell. Rolling back to the case flanks, you can see Rolex case flanks are always high polish on these deep sea models. We got a trip lock crown in steel. We know that because it has 3 symmetrical dots. Screw down crown, screwed in case back, obviously. The bezel is a wonderfully refined 120 click affair with sharp knurling that's easy to grip even with wet or sweaty hands. It's a real pleasure. It feels and sounds great, and it has absolute refinement about its action. There's no grit in this bezel. Lights out, again, some changes to the lume, allegedly a little bit more. I'll let you be the judge. All 3 hands loomed. That should be mandatory on a dive watch. You should be able to tell the watch is running in the dark. And then, of course, you can see the luminescent pearl on the bezel, which on a Rolex watch is actually sapphire capped for durability. We've got that 5+ millimeter crystal, which mercifully has no Cyclops eye magnifier due to the thickness, and then that's one of the reasons that the date window and date numerals were made larger to make them easier to see. The indices as well as the hands are white gold to resist tarnish or oxidation over time. You've got that inner metal cylinder on which the sapphire sits, and then you've got a lacquer dial that goes from blue to black, just as James Cameron in his Deep Sea Challenge submersible went from the light of the surface to the dark of the Challenger Deep, and of course that little Deep Sea logo in signal green, which was the color of his submersible. Which you'll actually find is that on these D Blues, the Deep Sea logo moves from 12 o'clock down to 6 o'clock, and it changes color. Now, the watch features a standard Rolex 3255, or 3235, I should say, internally. The 3235 is the successor to the old 3135. The big changes are now power reserve 70 hours, and the ball bearing is the means of pivoting the rotor. It's no longer a jeweled staff. There is a rotor bearing for better durability. So bidirectional winding, 70-hour power reserve, 4 hertz beat rate, 31 joules, chronometer certified. There's a stop seconds function. There's a quick set for the date. There's an overcoil hairspring that allows the watch to keep excellent time in any orientation with respect to gravity. During the chronometer test of the movement, or Rolex's superlative chronometer test of the watch itself, because the superlative chronometer test is a 6-position fully assembled watch test with the tolerances being no worse than +2, -2 seconds per 24 hours. And so the watch is able to pass that bar in addition to the 125% depth test before it leaves the factory. Also important to note, the movement has a full balance bridge with a free sprung balance for precision of adjustment and shock tolerance, and that Breguet overcoil hairspring features a niobium zirconium blue oxidized alloy called Parachrom Blue that makes the entire watch highly anti-magnetic. I suspect that every modern Rolex watch with that hairspring is in fact Milgauss or more in anti-magnetic terms. So reach out to T. Masso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of the latest.
What up, what up, what up? What's happening, guys? How is everyone out there? Happy Easter! It's Easter Sunday for those of you who celebrate such things, like myself. Nice to see that we got a few people in here. We've got our first super chat of the day. Again, we just try and keep the lights on. That's all. We're not out there spruiking for money or anything, but enough to pay the StreamYard and stuff. We do appreciate your kindness and generosity. We've got Robert Wood. Good morning and happy Easter. Happy Easter to you as well, Robert. Good to see you. I worked, Tuesday was last day of the month. I was there forever. I didn't get to pop by the show, but hopefully this Tuesday I'll be freed up and able to do such things. We've got Johnny O in the house. Someone who was from the Chicago area. Johnny O, how do you feel about the Bears moving out of the city? Looks like that part's official because they've said they're not staying in the city. They're either moving to Indiana or outside the city. It's still in Illinois. Be interesting to see what comes of that. But what are you going to do? Hope all is well in the area. Now, so we're going to do kind of a quick show today. Oh, Easter morning happiness. I got a bunch of dinner prep to do because why wouldn't you come to my house for dinner? I make excellent food. Didn't really cook much this week. It's busy this week. Man, busy. Johnny House says one of the worst run organizations in sports. Well, I'm not sure what's going on there. I am not certain. I can't speak to that, Johnny O. I haven't studied them that well. They just seem to be at least one of the most mediocre teams in the history of sports. I mean, they don't do much. But let's see. I like Caleb, though. Hopefully he gets it together and takes them to the promised land again. Won't be the defense like the 85 Bears, but maybe he can make a run with offense this time. You never know. It can happen. It can happen. Other than that, obviously, I am wearing the Rolex Deep Sea Sea Dweller James Cameron, the D Blue, 44 millimeters. Roughly 52 across, about 18 thick. It's a big watch. Big watch pimpin'. Johnny, oh yes. And Johnson, good to see you, sir. He is risen. Good morning, all. Yes. For those of you with faith in the Jesus, he is risen. It's the biggest day of the year. It is the most important holiday in most Christian circles. Thank you for that. Bum, bum, bum. Tired. Oh, man, I got crap all on my shirt. Man, probably Sherman had him out earlier. Let's see if I can clean that off. That's nasty. Sherman. And I walked around outside. He must have got a little mud on my shirt from his paw. The rat bastard. Sherman, the blind double dogson. So what's going on out there? Any news? Anything? I don't care what we talk about. You know that. We can talk about watches. We can talk about cars. We can talk about food. We can talk about what our plans are for the day. I'll be making a giant ham, and cheesy potatoes, asparagus. I've been simplifying these holiday meals to focus more on the protein, if you will. So that's been good. I didn't get to do a lot of cooking this week. I think I showed you these pictures last week. Of the shakshuka. Yeah, I think that was last week. It was delicious. Made the Nashville hot wings. Those were amazing. A lot of pictures of the deep sea because I'm kind of one watching, you know. But tonight will be ham, cheesy potatoes. I do not have the turquoise aquaterra. Kind of one want. I've got the Raymond Weil and the Longines Legend Diver. Those were all part of a 2-for-3 trade that I made, and because the deal was just too good, I wanted to make the deal, and I wanted the James Cameron. They got one in at my Omega AD. I love it. And we made a heck of a deal. One heck of a deal. Uh-oh. Liberty Spot getting ready to make my famous garlic infused olive oil boneless like a lamb. Nice. We would like to see pictures of that on the Instagram. Leg of lamb. Okay. I was like, a leg of lamb? All right. Leg of lamb makes more sense, Liberty Spot. But yes. we would like to see some pictures of the finished product. If you could do that for us. I love a good food pic. Who doesn't really? I mean, even if you don't really like the food, I mean, you gotta like the pic, right? Food pics done well are good. So yes, the Aquaterra is gone, as is the sub. We did pick up this Legend Diver, which I'm still waiting for. It's too tight. That's a cut strap, so hopefully that strap will be in this week. I really haven't been able to wear it and throw it on. You can see how tight it is on my wrist. It's made for like a 7-inch wrist. It just cuts in a little bit too much, but a cool watch just the same. And I also picked up this thing, which is really a badass looking watch. This is the Raymond Weil Freelancer GMT Dual Crown. I love a good dual crown watch. We know that. But I really went up there to maybe trade this for a black one. Then they had the James Cameron, and then we started talking and making deals. And what are you going to do? The shit, she happens. You know? I'm not here to argue it. The day before I did that, I think it was the day before, I actually took some pictures of the watch at Starbucks, of the old Starbucks at Starbucks. Like that picture with the gleam, if you will, as Marty Schottenheimer would say. There's a gleam, men. Let's get the gleam. Weirdest ever. But kind of cool, just the same. The Longines Tourniquet Diver. Yes, it's very tight on my wrist. Maybe I'll trade that in too. Who knows? It's a cool watch, but the problem is when you get something that you like more, you wear it more. Now, could I go back to Omega? Absolutely, I love Omega. Will I? I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I mean, yesterday, I believe, yesterday or Friday was 1 month on the wrist. And I have to say, the 1 month review on the wrist of the James Cameron, it's big. It has a lot of presence. A guy wearing a GMT saw it and went, oh, fuck, or holy shit, or something. Jesus, I can't remember. He swore when he saw the size of this watch. It's a little stealthy, though, for a big watch because it doesn't have the Cyclops, so people don't always recognize it right away as being a Rolex. There are a lot of double takes from watch people wearing actual watches, but big, thick, got a couple little hairline scratches on it already because it's big. It's almost 18 millimeters thick. That's a big chunky monkey of a watch. It's 44 across, so it wears its size, but there are times when you're outside and you see this dial in the sunlight, the sun catches this dial, and it's just amazing. There's times it kind of looks black, because this version, this latest, the 13660, I'm sorry, is a little bit darker of a dial than the original James Cameron, or Deep Blue, however you prefer to call it. So you get it's a very black effect sometimes. And again, I apologize, fucking Sherman dirt all over my shirt, but you have to have the wrist for it, I guess. It would look silly on a wrist a little bit smaller than mine, but it works on mine, and it's cool. And probably the coolest thing about it is this glide lock adjustment. So you can actually increase the size of this while it's on your wrist. Oh, glide lock. deluxe glide lock, as Tim Mosso would call it, the deluxe version of glide lock. But overall, no complaints. No complaints. It'd be hard pressed. The class is the class is really cool. I'll tell you the other thing they did. They took out the so they left the glide lock, but they took the diver extension out of this. So when it has the diver extension and you use the glide lock, you get this kind of big, ugly piece of metal come out. If you make the bracelet bigger, it's not very attractive. Whereas this one, it is all links and bracelet. Now I have I think it's 11 and a half links. I don't know. All the links are in the watch. So that I can use the glide lock adjustability, and it fits. Rolex, I think, stopped adding some links maybe at some point. I'm not sure. I remember in 2001 having to take a link out of my watch. The watch is. Now that is not the case. Maybe I've just gotten fat. Who knows? The response says, the news just said the Artemis 2 toilet is broken. That's a shitty situation. Yeah, that would be bad. You don't want that. Definitely do. You need a working bathroom in space, for God's sakes. What do you do? Fill up the legs of your suit? Yuck. Nasty. Nasty, I said. What's everybody doing for Easter? And or maybe not Easter if you're not a celebratory person. If I say Happy Easter to you, it's and you're not of the Christian persuasion, it's really just a greeting. It's a hi. Hey, it's a good day for us. You know, if you don't celebrate, it's not like, I'm not coming after you or anything. We're just saying Happy Easter. You know, I saw a comedian once. He was talking about saying Merry Christmas to people, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry if I offended you by saying Merry Christmas. What's the worst part to you? The goodwill towards men or the peace on earth parts? Robert Wood, nice. That sounds like an excellent day. He's going to spend his Easter with Miss Holly, his granddaughter, and the fam. Very cool. What's on the wrist today, Robert? Liberty Spot, I'm imagining you are wearing something gold. Perhaps a Sky Dweller. Solid gold. Johnson, I'm picking you for a Submariner. Johnny O, I got you with a... I thought to say maybe you have your OP on with the silver dot. I don't know. I could be completely wrong on all of these. Liberty Spot says yes. Liberty Spot has a beautiful new piece. The Monaco. Back from Jen. How's it running? Robert's got his Tag Heuer Monaco that Jen G was fixing for him. Servicing. So hopefully that's running well. Johnny O says, oh man, I got that one. I bingo on that one. Nice. Yeah, that's a beautiful watch. I like that watch. The OP41 with that silver dial and the gold indices and hands is slick. Slick as all get out. It's a great watch. Underappreciated watch. We're going to look that one up because I like it a lot. So... silver now. Can't get a good picture of one of these. And then we'll just get the Rolex. Oh wait, here. What do we got here? Terrible pictures. Share that tab. Boom. There she is. So this one's cool because it has a silver dial, and instead of white gold indices and hands and the background, it has gold in it, which is pretty slick. Always one of my favorites. Robert Wood says his tag for it is very nice. Very nice indeed. I often think these OPs are like, do you really need anything more than this for a watch? It's great value. Great look. It's clean. No magnifier. No date. You know. Double slashes on the quarters. Single slashes on the hours and the coronet. It's just a beautiful watch. Very nicely put together. Congrats and kudos to anyone with one of these. At retail, might be the best value in watching. I have to admit. But, yeah, no response says, just cleaning up the accessories for today. I sent you a pic on IG. Cool. Hold on. Hold on. Sure, not doxing you. Ah, there it is. This is class right here. Hold on. Espresso. Look at that ring. Look at that beautiful Sky Dweller and solid yellow gold. Ooh. Beauty Liberty Spot. That's Liberty Spot's watch. That is absolutely gorgeous. That's his latest pickup. And it's just a stunner. Just a stunning piece. Who doesn't love that? Let's see, I don't think you'll be around today, but George unboxed a gold Daytona on Oyster Flex last week. Very nice watch. Small for me, but a nice watch. Wish they made a bigger one, but they don't. What are you going to do? We'll let the little wristed people have their Daytonas. I'll just hang out with my Deep Sea. But what a beauty. Can't wait to see the leg of lamb. We're ham people. We were never really lamb people growing up. I don't know why. But we were of the ham variety. The beauty of the ham is I got a huge ham. So I'll be eating that most of the week in different iterations, whether it be ham steaks and eggs, or I might make a traditional Irish boiled dinner with some of that ham. Maybe some who's a majigger, ham and navy bean soup could be coming out of that. You never know. You never know what I'm going to do with the rest of it. The ham is one of the more versatile meats to use throughout the week. You know, I get a huge ham. Everyone will have a big dinner. They'll take some leftovers home, and I'll still have a ton of ham. Like I said, the Irish boiled dinner is always a winner in my book. Underappreciated meal. The ham and navy bean soup I love. I just love making things with the leftover ham. Who doesn't really? In all reality. Nice. We got another picture coming over on the old Instagrams. Let me switch this up real quick to not there's my Aquaterra for sale. My good friends of choice. It's a great watch. It really is. It's cool, but the color is hard to, that soup's on. Yeah, ham and navy bean soup is amazing. We've got George in the chat. Happy Easter, all. George, happy Easter. How are you? What color is the dial on your new pickup? George, that was a question from Liberty Spot. I'm going to get your pick here in a second, Johnny O. all that. Oh man, this is such a beautiful watch. See if we can make that full screen or something. Yeah. Boom. It's so good. It really is. It's just so balanced and it's a great size. It's a great obviously the oyster bracelet's my favorite bracelet. A lot of people love the Jubilee, but for me it's the oyster bracelet. It's classic, it's class, it lasts, it's tough. And this one with the brush and just the polished bezel and those gold indices really make that. It's got that kind of a sunray silver effect with those gold indices. It is stunning. It is absolutely stunning. Like Liberty Spot says, class. It looks great. Yeah, it very much is a class watch. There are ugly Rolexes, obviously. Yachtmaster 2. Like I would take this watch every day and any day over a smooth bezel oyster Wimbledon, which I think is the ugliest watch that Rolex makes. It's just nasty, just bad. Whereas this watch, so good, so good. Congrats to everyone. I hope everyone this coming year gets the watches that they want. George's got the yellow gold oyster flex with the black counter rings. Spot. Yeah, gorgeous. And again, I make fun of the watch a lot, more for the size than anything else. I wish that more people that it was bigger, but what are you gonna do? The watch world is filled with tiny wristed rat bastards, as we know. Even on such a wonderful day as Easter Sunday, the tiny wristed rat bastards are out there ruling the world of watches, ruining the world of watches. Those YouTubers with their watches are becoming small. They try and talk that into existence. We got Aaron Fletcher from Fairhaven, Massachusetts. George is on his way to Mass. Now I get it. You said last week, George. I get it. But I appreciate you stopping by the chat. Always good to see George. Can't wait. Hopefully George is coming to Pennsylvania here in a month or two. So can't wait for that. Get over the other side of the state, meet up with him and hopefully some others. It'd be nice to meet George in person. Love George. Talk to him a lot here on the streams and on the phone here and there. And just one of my favorite guys in the watch community. That it would be cool. Congrats again, George. Mark, if I get a job at Hell's Kitchen in Foxwoods Resort, Connecticut, I might become the next master chef. There you go. Everyone has to have a goal. Oh, excuse me. My goal is to get through this stream. What are you going to do? In the world of watches, I will tell you, these rat bastards, my buddies over at Joyce's, so yeah, they have my Aquaterra for sale. They've got to talk me out of this, gang. Talk me out of buying this watch. They picked up the two-tone Moonshine Gold Aquaterra 41, which I've always been a big fan of. I saw this watch on the guy at Teddy Baldassar's store first time I went to the old store. The guy was in a wheelchair, but he had this watch on, and I was stunned at how beautiful this watch was in person. Because this has that new bracelet, the new presidentially looking thing in the two-tone. It's really, really pretty. You know the Daytona is too small for you. But even the salesperson tells you it's too small, says Johnny O. This happened recently. Yeah. It's true. I I had that famous picture of me wearing OC's Daytona in Philadelphia, and it's on an Oyster Flex, and it's a gorgeous watch. I make fun of it for its size, but it's a beautiful watch. But it looks like a little kid's watch on my wrist. It's crazy. Whereas, I can obviously pull off a big watch. And I'm kind of lucky because I'm kind of flat across the top too. So 7.5-inch wrist would, it's not like big round wrist. So I can wear a watch, that's wide. I remember I tried on, speaking of Philadelphia, I tried on the new Longines Legend Diver, the 38 or whatever it is. And the girl, I put it on. I said, I always wanted to try one of these on. I never had an opportunity to see one. I threw it on. The girl was like, yeah, you need the bigger one. It's flat out said it. I was like, damn, girl, you're killing me. I had the bigger one, but the bracelet or the strap doesn't fit. It's a mess. My life is a mess, I say. Oh, boy. What we got here? Oh, yeah, Liberty Spot. Look at that Sky Dweller. Look at that thing. That is just freaking gorgeous. It's such a good looking watch. What do we got here? Oh, that's beautiful. That's very cool. But this, ooh, so good. Such a good piece. So good. Aaron reminds us, happy Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, Aaron. Liberty Spot says Euro P can be worn with almost anything, dressed up, dressed down. Great pickup. It is. He's had that watch for a while. It's a great piece. I am a big fan, I must say. Let's see how we're doing on our upvotes. We haven't checked that yet today. We have any upvotes? Oh, we got 10 upvotes. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Oh, as always. That's a big deal. Excuse me. To get some upvotes in there. Somebody told me I should start doing more shorts and video cut-ups of these shows. I don't know. I don't know. If anybody wants to pop on, the link is pinned. It seems it pins at the bottom now instead of at the top, which is reverse. Brought it with me to Ross Bridge Golf Resort outside of Birmingham. Yeah, that's great. That's the winter watch, I'm sure. Where the gin and tonics flow like the salmon of Capistrano. Again, if you're not on Liberty Spot's Instagram, you're missing out on great humor and all things Italian. Get a lot of Italian content, Italian American content over there. Good stuff, funny stuff. Some interesting, some funny, some self-deprecating. I love it all. I love it all. It's all good stuff. The weather kind of finally warmed up here for the last part of the week. Did have another one of those hot then cold switches there earlier in the week. It's just been brutal on the vocal cords here. I kind of talk for a living, so I talk all day. We are back to our spring summer hours, so we are open Monday through Thursday until 8 again instead of 7. Which is fine. It's an hour. It's not going to kill anybody. I usually, get in sometime between 8 and 8:30 most days. So make those 11, 12-hour days again. That's all I know. I've been in the car business for over 30 years. It's a long time. And during that time, I've sold thousands of cars, but I was in the car business back when it was really brutal. It was 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. most days, and you were lucky to get out of there before 11. So the new hours are better. Kind of a post-COVID world. COVID did teach us that people will come in when you're open, when they can. They'll find a way. They'll find a way to get in. You don't necessarily have to be open forever. People will come for the automobiles. You know what I mean? But speaking of, you know what I mean, let's find a good thing. So there are times where this watch really does look dark. You know, like here. Watch really looks dark in that picture. Excuse me, except for the signal green of the deep sea. But then there are also times when the light hits it right, and that blue gradient to the black. It's really good. Originally, I wasn't a big fan of the ring lock system, the writing ring lock system in original gas escape valve, but I've come to like it, come to appreciate it. And it fits. I like it. It just fits. Who else would you rather see wearing the deep sea James Cameron? This little vid. Little wrist roll, but an idea of the thickness, because it is thick. It catches every little piece of lint, and you will get some scratches on it. Those things are givens. Those things are givens with this watch. It's just going to happen. But what a beauty. What a beauty. I love it. I love the dial. You know, the blue to black. It's just cool. It's different from most watches you see. I'm a big fan. Let's see what's going on in the world of watches today, if anything, on this lovely Easter Sunday. We will head over to All Watch News. Never happy. That's something I'm never going to own and or buy or look at or probably ever feel. Raymond Wow Millesime, the 50, featuring the historic Valjoux 23.6. I have a Raymond Wow. It's a cool watch, I guess. You know, they make cool watches. I mean, these aren't. I don't consider these like luxury pieces, but they make some very nice watches. You know, it's kind of entry level luxury, if you will. This one's cool looking. Looks like a mechanical chrono by Compacts. 86.50. Wow, that's a lot. That just seems like a lot for a Raymond Wow. Not gonna lie. I don't think I could spend that kind of money on that watch. And it's 37 millimeters. Oh, it's tiny. Tiny, tiny. Oh, I'm not even showing it. Good. You don't want to see it. Trust me. You didn't want to see it. It's a horological nightmare. What do you guys think of the new Hydro Conquest? Got a lot of buzz here lately. I like to watch. I think in a lot of ways it's better than, the movement isn't better than the Omega, but geez, ceramic bezel inside. Omega's moving almost all aluminum. Bezels on their 300M line. I don't know if they're doing that to make a bigger differentiation between those and the new 42 millimeter Planet Oceans, but man, Formex Reef Forged Carbon. I do like some Formex. Fratello has their top 5 day date alternatives in 2026. Is there an alternative to the day date? Isn't it just kind of like the day date, kind of a perfect watch in so many ways? Robert is a big fan of that. We'll go look at those here in a second. We'll skim through this weird article first. I mean, day date's just, I mean, the look, the size, look at that watch. That's a beautiful watch. It's a classic. I don't know that the Tudor Royal stands up. Yes, I know they both have a day and a date. But that's where the similarities end. The Cubitips. Yeah, no. How about no? The Odysseus. That's a beautiful watch. I don't know that it competes with a day date. I mean, again, these all have a day and a date, but it's a beautiful, cool watch. But I mean, I think the day date is the perfect watch. Oh, the Carrera. Yes, again, it has a day and a date. That's about where the similarities end. Oh, the Seiko 5. Yeah, that's a great alternative. Oh, jeez. That's a terrible article. I'm sorry that I made you look at it. But that's all right. I want to go look up a Longines. Longines Hydra Conquest. I make these in variable sizes. They used to make more sizes, but now I think your choice on the new one is 39 or 41 or 42. Yeah, 39 or 42. I'll tell you, I like this. This is the old Hydra Conquest. I've always liked this look on this watch. Again, never enough really to buy it, but what a cool looking piece. Kind of PVD two-tone, ceramic bezel, 1269 readout. That's the classic on the rubber. Always liked that watch. Never enough to buy it, but I always liked it. But these new ones are cool. Let's go with this mesh bracelet one. So now when you get the mesh bracelet on the Omega, you do not get a ceramic insert on your bezel. It's aluminum. Or aluminium, as my UK friends would say. I don't know that that's a good thing. I think Longines is punching up here. Now, these are a little more expensive than they used to be, $2,400, but it seems like a lot of watch for the money. It's definitely good looking. They make a gray bezel one that's super cool. So this has a proprietary L888 movement from ETA that is made. It's produced specifically for Longines. They supply them with all the parts. Longines actually puts this whole thing together. That's why it's a little weird. They say, "Oh, it's not in-house." It kind of, in a lot of ways, it is though. But they have micro adjust. This bracelet. All right, so if you see these removable tabs. This is like the Legend Diver bracelet. So Longines does this mesh bracelet better than Omega, I think. I do believe. I'm looking at the black dial, gray bezel on mesh. We'll pull that one up. I like that one a lot, Robert. Conquest is a killer in its price bracket. Looks sharp. It really is. Mo, how are you, sir? It's always good to see our friend Mo. He says, "Happy Easter, Mark, and everyone. Happy Easter to you too, sir. Hope you had an amazing breakfast." Hopefully that is the case, as Mo often does on the weekends. But might help if I was showing the Hydra Conquest. Jeez, I need somebody to babysit me on these streams anymore. So you see here these removable links. These are push pin removable links, but this is the way that the the mesh on the 42 millimeter Legend Diver was constructed. Now this is a better class than the Legend Diver class. It's not quite as polished, and it has a little bit of a micro adjust in it. But yeah, these are the Stibe mesh bracelets. They're thick, they're hardy, but they really do it right. Let me find Robert's, because this is one of my favorite. There it is. So Robert, I believe you're not going to break my heart and get a 39. You're going to get a 42, Robert. I believe this is the gray bezel. This is cool looking. This is super cool looking. They really just did a heck of a job with this watch. 300 meters of water resistance, screw down crown. The guards aren't quite as obtrusive as on the old Hydra Conquest. The bracelet options are cool. I actually even like the regular bracelet. But again, $2,400. Where are you going? I would buy this over a Tudor every day. I think it's better. That's it. So if he likes it because it's thin. What is thin? Who wants a thin watch, Robert? 11.7. Robert, you're missing 6.1. But yeah, this is a cool watch. 21 millimeters on the lugs. Some people will be like, I can't fit an 8 strap on it. I don't care. The bracelet's pretty killer. I would just go with that. Those are pins. Liberty Spot. Those are pins. Those of us who wear long sleeves every day want it thin. Oh, Robert. Killing me. Just killing me. These thin watches. Roll up those sleeves and get to work. That's what I always tell my guys. Roll them up so people can see your watch. Right? Who doesn't love a good watch? But I'm really, really, really impressed with this piece. If you get it on bracelet, loops have screws. Let's take a look. I'm honestly not sure. I think that's one of the areas, the savings areas, I'm sure, to differentiate these watches. But let's take a look at one on the bracelet, black one. Let's see what we got here. These look screw in. These look like screws. I see little screw heads. Maybe the other one screws too. Maybe I missed it. I missed it on the picture? I might have. You never know. I like this boutique edition. It's light blue with a black bezel too. It's kind of cool. Nah, that's all pins. Yeah, so the mesh is all pins and collars like the old Legend Diver. The regular bracelet has screwed in links. Bum, bum, bum. What do you guys think? I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, there's definitely screws on the bracelet. And this has a little micro adjust in it too, I believe. It's a nice looking bracelet. Have an H-link. But for $2,200, it's a heck of a piece of kit. You know? That's a lot of watch. Not everyone can afford, or is it in that part of their watch journey, to get super, really expensive watches, but you can have a nice wristwatch. Longines is a great brand with a lot of history. If you like the diver company, they still looks like they still have some of these older models in stock. They, like I said, I think they might even have one of these choices. I need to check that out. I think they might even have one of these. I still like this old one. I always like this watch. I thought this was good looking. I know it's not real gold and anything like that. It's not anything super crazy, but it's just a nice looking watch with a sunburst finish and gold accents. And the bezel action isn't horrible on these things. Just a cool piece. Catch back up to the chat. Everything else about me is thick. I need a little thin in my life, says Robert. Oh, man. I really love that blue dial, blue bezel and bracelet. Yeah, it's cool. It is cool. Is this 70-hour power reserve? I believe it is. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. 72 self-winding mechanical movement beating at 25.2 vibrations per hour with a monocrystalline silicone balance spring power reserve up to 72 hours. So yes, you do get your 72-hour we talk about soon, double security folding clasp micro adjustment system. So is resistant to magnetism with that silicone. It's just a nice watch. It's just a nice watch. Hold on 1 second. Yep, getting happy Easters. Getting some happy Easters. I'll log in and upvote the stream while they're wishing me happy Easter. You want to wish me a happy Easter? Let's do that. Blue dial, blue bezel. Hold on, let me pull that one up. Oh, let's pull that one back up. Do they have a 42 blue dial, blue bezel bracelet new model? Yes, I do believe they do. Okay, so are you talking? Yeah, so the blue dial on the new iteration, it doesn't look like the dark blue unless you get the GMT function. So it looks like the lighter blue, the more ice blue with the blue bezel is your option here. And these are boutique editions, I believe. I'm sure you can get them online. That's what they're calling them. But yes, 42 millimeters on the bracelet, the light blue with the dark blue bezel. Super cool looking, clean. But again, just did a nice job with the watch. Just, nothing extravagant, but if you're looking for a beater piece, or if you're looking for an entry-level piece, if you're looking, I'd buy that over a Tudor. I think Longines has the history and the name, and they just do a really nice job with the watches. I'm a big fan of Longines in the collection. I've owned a number of them over the years, even when I've had more expensive watches. A lot of times you'll find Longines in my collection because they're kind of neat. They've got history. They've got, people know what a Longines is. They sponsor things like the Kentucky Derby and stuff like that. I mean, excuse me. They have a couple brand ambassadors. Yes, they are part of the Swatch Group. But I think they might be the best positioned brand in the Swatch Group right now, price to value wise. There's a lot of value in Longines that you don't get elsewhere. So the blue dial, blue bezel. Now, Liberty Spot, they do make a GMT version of this watch they came out with last year. Let's see if we can't find one of those. Here we go. Now this one, a little bit different, but still very cool. This is a 300 meter diver GMT. Now let's see what the screw to in. This looks like it might be all screws on this one, or all pins. Well, maybe some screws up here. Could be the opposite one. It's hard to tell. I think it's screw pins on this one, would be my guess. But that's the GMT model, which comes in these color iterations. That's the darker blue, the way to get the darker blue. I really like that black and gray one that Robert likes, but the other one I really like. I love the way that blue bezel pops against that black and that little bit of blue text in Hydra Conquest. I just think that's a fine looking piece. I love that straight bar look with the mesh bracelets. I don't know why I always have. It's one of the problems I have with the new Breitlings is they integrated that mesh bracelet, and I just don't think it looks as good. Like the date windows framed. It's just cool. And I thought they kind of did a really nice job with this watch. Says it looks like that looks nice. Also, what's the price of that? I'm a sucker for GMTs. Oh, let me go look up the GMTs again. I'm sorry, I didn't miss the chat. I've not been paying attention to the chat. Oop. Well, it's fine. I think it was similar. Oh no, it is more. Yeah, $33.50 on the bracelet. It definitely is a little bit more on the bracelet. I'll tell you what else I like. I love these. The fact that your GMT numbers here are, it's a mix of white and kind of a bright blue, so you can tell the difference in the hour, in the day. Mo says, I only ever had one Longines and still do, the Spirit 40 in titanium. I love a good pilot watch. Everyone knows I love a good pilot watch. Yes, those are cool watches too. Anything in that Spirit collection is, the Zulu Times, the GMTs, or not the Zulu Time, it's the GMT. The pilot's watches, they're kind of like pilot field watches. They're cool. JB, happy Easter all. Happy Easter, JB. Happy Easter, Aaron. Liberty Spot says, Robert Mark, the black dial blue bezel on mesh is the clasp adjustable like a guy like. It has a small adjustment on it. Yes, the mesh does have a small micro adjust on it. It's probably 2 or 4 millimeters. Oh, Robert has this one. That's one I have. Very cool. You have the GMT. Yeah, you do have the GMT, don't you, Robert? I believe. It's hard to remember. I try. I do my best. It's hard. Watch YouTube live streaming is hard. It's hard work. Ask Timmy. All right, it's really not. Lots of Easter wishes. What are you gonna do? So I might be able to overlook the pins. Yes, it does have a small micro adjust in the class. I don't know if they tell you what it is in this. It's a GMT. I wanted this one again. Come on. It just says micro adjustment system. I don't believe it's like 20 millimeters or anything like that. I want to say it's probably 2 or 4. I think it's a small adjustment on there, and I don't know if they really talk about it very much. I mean, I could go into the instructional manual, but that would take forever. Just be terrible. But it does have a small micro adjust in it. I like this look. So this look to me with that straight bar on the mesh. I love the straight bar on the mesh. I love the polished straight bar on the mesh. There's just something that makes those watches kind of pop way above their class, I think. Robert says it's a sliding micro adjust and it's not huge, maybe 3/4 of a link worth. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's not huge. Didn't look like it was huge in the one video I saw, but it looked cool. I'm always happy, even on those Aquaterras where you just have that little fold-out piece. Just give me something for when I need it, and I'm happy. Right? Same thing with the new Speedies. Not a big micro adjust in that new bracelet, but it's something. Because sometimes in the heat, your wrist swells. You know? Liberty Spot, thank you very much. He says, Happy Easter to everyone with the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Do appreciate that. And again, we're just trying to keep the StreamYard going and stuff. Keep the lights on, if you will. That's all we're looking to do. Go for a little bit longer here today. It's not going to be a super long show because I got food prep and stuff to do. Gonna make some cheesy potatoes, for God's sakes. For the love of God and all things decent. I think I'm actually going to cook those in the crock pot today. Sometimes I will bake them off. Sometimes I'll do them in the crock pot. Sometimes they're better in the crock pot because it's creamier. You know, sometimes I like those dry kind of little burnt spots, but sometimes the crock pot is better for the cheesers. But you'll be keep an eye out for ham and eggs and cheesy potato breakfast. We'll be having that one day this week. That's for certain. And keep an eye out to see if I don't just go and trade in a watch. You never know. You just never know. Billy could be out there. It's been a month, Billy. You said a month. I think it was a month yesterday since I've had this. And I'm wearing it every day. It's just a cool watch. I am a huge fan of the big watch. I can't help it. I just can't help it. Now, do I get a new Rolex clock to match the James Cameron since I had one for the Starbucks behind me, which I've still never reset since the time change. It's just sitting there on my shelf. I don't know what to do there. I do have this. I do have some franchise club stuff behind me. And then I was very honored to get this magnet thing from Mo. So that's cool. Check out the clubs, whatever they got going on. I've seen they've had guest hosts. They've had all kinds of stuff going on. Evil stuff and all kinds of different people running shows over there when Curly and Mo aren't on. That's cool. Nice to see a channel doing well and growing. We appreciate that kind of thing. Speaking of growing and doing well, where are we at on our upvotes? 15 upvotes. Cool. Last 2 weeks we've been in the mid to high 20s and the 30s. So we seem to be doing good at catching the algorithm again. And again, this show is back for people I like to talk to. Anyone's welcome. Anyone's willing is able to become part of that people I like to talk to group. But that's basically what it's for. You still have many years selling cars, but if you did retire, what watch would you aim to get? We can guess it will have a large case. Yes. All right. So retirement watch. So there's a couple. There are a couple. Mo. One is, we talked about this watch last week, but hold on, let me pull it up, because I just think this watch is cool. I've always liked the look of this watch, and I think you can find some deals on this watch on the secondary. But I would say one of the runners, this is odd because it's also a dress watch, is the 5226G. I believe this is a 40 millimeter watch. It's not huge, but it's white gold. It's got a beautiful dial. It's cool. It's different than most Pateks that I know. It's not super overly complicated or anything. It's just a pretty watch. That's always definitely one I think of in that range. What to do if I wanted a retirement watch. Also, I would say another watch. I love this watch. I really do. And you guys hate it. If I did some kind of weird thing for this, you guys would be mad at me. You would be mad at me if I bought this watch. But that's a cool watch too. That two-tone Aquaterra Moonshine Gold is super cool. Very rare. You don't see it very often. JB. Yeah, that's I just really like that watch. Always have. I didn't even know this existed really. I didn't really. I may have come across it on the website or something, just not paying any attention to it. But it is in person. I saw it in person. I was like, holy crap! That thing's really good looking in person. Alcantara's good looking watch in general. Has a lot of dial space. 41, but it wears more like 42. It has an awful lot of dial space. That black lacquer dial with the gold indices, the gold bezel, and the gold center links, all moonshine gold. I don't even know what that means as far as they say 18 karat moonshine gold. I don't know. Omega does so many weird things with the alloys and stuff. I couldn't tell you. But I don't know. 5226 is one I would like to own one day to own. Yeah, it's a great watch. We'll go back over that. That's fancier. It's just a cool watch. George picked up the 5326, I think, is this watch with the complications like day and date. It's just great. I love the simplicity of this dial. I love the Arabics. I love the hobnail case. I know this isn't like your hot horology Patek or anything like that, but I'm not a hot horology guy. I just like to wear a watch. I just always like to wear a watch. I got into watches when I was a child. And a lot of my early watches were, he says, looks like a Hamilton. One of my first was a Hamilton. A hand-me-down from Dad. My brother is 11 months younger, but he never really had the huge fascination with watches that I had. So I always got the kind of first pick, being the oldest. We need to move on with stuff. But I've always been a watch guy. Bought my first Rolex in 2001. And had many other watches in between those. I've had many Omegas. I've tried IWC, JLC, other brands. A lot of Longines, a lot of Omega, a lot of few Tudors. I love-hate with Tudor. I don't hate them really, but I don't love them either. I've had a couple nice Tudors, but they're just... Johnny O says, I like the 6119G. Well, let's look that up, Johnny O. 6119, right? Yeah. Let's take a peek. The small seconds. There you go. This one looks like a manual wind. Got hobnail on the bezel instead of the case sides. Beautiful movement. Calatrava. A cult model with a new design, they say. 65-hour manually wind. It's running the 30-255 PS caliber. Twin barrels. I love the twin barrel watches. It's one of the things I love about the 8900 series of Omega movements. Is I will tell you that the Omegas are more accurate than the Rolex over time. Every one I've owned has been really accurate, whereas every Rolex I've owned has been a tad bit fast. Not a lot, but here and there. There have been any leaks or hints to what Tudor is going to release. I have not seen anything. I have not seen anything with the spot. They always come out with something. I mean, there's Tudor watches I really like. I love that new Pelagos Ultra. I don't know if I love it $6,000 worth, you know? I know it's titanium. It's good to 1,000 meters. Everything. It just seems like a lot for the watch to me. But I love the way it fits. I've tried it on a couple times. Excuse me, I get hiccups. It's just a good watch. It's a good piece. Who doesn't love that kind of stuff? But this 6119 here that Johnny O likes is really cool. So yeah, it's a beautiful watch, Johnny O. It's a little bit different than the one that I like more, but it's really cool. You pick up the movement's beautiful on this thing. The small seconds is cool. Kind of gives it the way they do the sector in the small seconds, give it a little bit of a sector dial vibe, whereas the one that I like has more of a field watch vibe. The hobnail on top. I mean, I love the hobnail on the case sides. I'd have to see this in person to really make a true opinion of it. Look at that movement. It's gorgeous. Thin. Super thin. Super duper thin. Yeah, it's a cool piece, Johnny. I agree. That would be also a nice retirement watch. I'm not retiring on. We will pull up the SpongeBob Baron. We're talking about other stuff right now. That's what Johnny O. Sorry, it is Johnny O's favorite. It's also Johnson says one of my favorite Pateks. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I don't know if I'm a Patek guy. You know? I don't always have like aspirations for AP or Patek, and so I'm probably more of a Vacheron guy than anything. I like a lot of the Vacherons better. But the 5226 I've always liked since I first saw it. Just a good watch. It is just a good watch. Some of the other things that are good watches, we had Mo tell us that he has a Spirit. I think maybe this one. Titanium, that's stainless. Those are stainless. I thought Mo said, let me go find his thing. He said, he's one on jeans. So the Spirit 40 in titanium. And Mo does love good pilots watch. He has the Zenith, these the old school Zenith pilots watch. These are cool. Aaron is going to make Gordon Ramsay a pepper jack cheese hamburger with extra onions and extra pickles and extra lettuce and extra tomatoes. Here's the thing, Aaron. When you put too many pickles and tomatoes on the sandwich, so when you're trying to eat it, it makes the bun slide. So you got to be careful. You can't have too many. You want to have, you want to be able to taste them. You don't want to overpower the burger, and you don't want it to make it too sloppy to eat. In a perfect world, my hamburger, yeah, I would tell you lately my hamburger when it's bad. Hold on. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can't find a picture to describe what it is that I love. I've been eating. They opened a Shake Shack near us. Um, and the unfortunate part is it's in a plaza that has Sam's Club and Chick-fil-A. I don't get over there. Well, it's probably better that I don't eat them all the time because it's just the traffic to get in and out of that, where the Shake Shack is between those two things, can be just frustrating. It can be maddening to the point that you just don't even go. But I love these Shack burgers. Here's an article anyway. So the Shack burger, I'm a big fan of the. I get the Shack sauce, sliced onions, pickles. I think that might be it. And cheese on a double double smash burger. Ah, so good. First bun followed by lettuce, onions, tomato, pickles, and cheese in that order. That's a good order to go. Hi, Bradley. How are you? Medic, teach me your ways. I'm just kidding. What's going on, Bradley? How are you? Good to see you. If you guys are new to the show, please, we don't ask for much. We ask for an upvote. And every once in a while, if you think you're getting something out of the content, we like a little super sticker, super chat. We just enough to pay the StreamYard and stuff, so it doesn't. So we do this without costing me any money. I'm not looking to make any money on this. I have a job. I am blessed in that way. It's always rough. We get 16 upvotes. Pretty cool. Thanks, guys. Yeah, having a job is a good thing. Selling cars, managing the sales department of a car dealership is kind of cool. And it comes with some cool perks from driving the all new hybrid 2026 Jeep Cherokee Overland. Very cool car. I actually pretty impressed with that car. I'm not impressed with cars very much, but I really like the way that car drives. I like the lack of road noise that I get in it. I like the hybrid feature. Boost me up into the 30s mile per gallon wise. I'm just a big fan of it. And yeah, so like a bonus of my job, not only do I get to go and have fun with a bunch of salespeople all day and make deals, make calls and stuff, all that good stuff, plus the managerial side of it too, some of the other stuff. But I get a car to drive and they pay my insurance and my gas. It's a pretty good deal, it's hard to beat that. That's like, I always tell people it's like getting 10 grand a year for free, in between insurance, and it's probably more than that now these days. But I am blessed in that way. But I love the Shack burger. I'm a big fan of the Shake Shack. Like I said, it's a little bit annoying to get in and out of there sometimes because literally it's an old Quaker Steak and Lube building, wing place that went out of business, and half of it is Chipotle and half of it is Shake Shack. But to the right of it is, if you're looking at from the road, to the right is a Chick-fil-A. Behind it is barbecue place I can't remember the name of, but Sam's Club is to the left, and there's another good restaurant in the back. It's just the traffic to get into that little plaza, in and out, because the Chick-fil-A, I don't know what they put in Chick-fil-A, but that place has a line in the drive-through as long as they're open. It seems like it's just crazy how many people go to Chick-fil-A. And we love it. We got a super sticker from JB Unleashed. Let's see what it is. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. It's a laughing lemon. I love that. Thank you, sir. I do always appreciate that. And again, guys, I appreciate everything you guys do. That's why it's fun to sit here and chat with you for a couple hours. We're going to go another 35 minutes. We're going to, because I do need to do meal prep for everyone. Otherwise, so I'll just be sitting around my house complaining. I believe the Penguins are on at 3 o'clock. They won yesterday handily, put up a 9 spot on the Florida Panthers last night after playing one of their worst games of the year against Tampa a couple nights before. Penguins probably going to make the play. They had a run of like 17 years in a row making the playoffs. Then the last 3 they haven't, but looks like they're in line to make the playoffs this year. Currently second in the Metropolitan Division. They got 94 points, I believe, which is 14 more points than they achieved last year. And then you have the Pirates. They won like 4 in a row or something. I mean, they're killing it. They call up Connor Griffin, number 1 prospect in baseball. Paul Skeens is back to looking like Paul Skeens, Keller, and some of the other. I mean, they've got a great pitching staff. They got a better lineup than they had last year. Connor Griffin could be a superstar. They need one more bat, I think, to really make a run at it, but at least something exciting. Pirates have not had much exciting in years. In a decade, probably. And before that, it had been forever. It's a poorly run franchise. What are you gonna do? Shake Shack, though. Go get a Shake Burger. I highly recommend, or a Shack Burger. I mean, it's really good. I just, like I said, big fan. But I did want to find a titanium spirit here so we can see what it is that Mo has. Let's see. There's a Zulu time stuff I like. It might be here. It's a filter. Titanium. Here we go. He's got the 40. I'm assuming this is one. These dials, these spirit dials, are amazing in person. There's a lot going on here with the applied aerobricks, these cutout diamonds, the way this secondhand travels and covers the diamonds on this thing perfectly. And some people don't like the 5 stars, but it's still cool. It's a great hand set. The way they stack the hands is cool. It's just a good watch. Just a good watch. Not very expensive. What is this one? It's $3,500 in titanium. Where are you going? Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous pieces. For not a lot of time, for not a ton of money. That's one of mine. It came with the fabric strap. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a great watch, Mo. Like I said, I've had the Spirit Zulu time, which one of my favorite dials on any watch. I'll probably get another one here soon. Let's go. Oh, geez. Watch websites stink. I had the green bezel gilt 42. If I was going to do another one, I would probably do this one. And I'm a bracelet guy, but the bracelet does not have a micro adjust, but this leather strap one does. It kind of looks cool on that leather strap. Fan. They don't show just interchangeable bracelet, folding clasp with micro adjust. Yeah, blue half leather, good watch. It's just a cool watch. Sunburst dial. The blue's amazing on it. Like I said, normally I'm a bracelet guy, but I actually kind of like this one on this strap. Yeah, it's got a pilot's crown. We have a 24-hour ceramic bezel. And it's just, in all ways, a good watch. But I've always been a fan of this watch. I bought this when it first came out, when they were hard to get. Actually, that's how I found, really how I found Teddy Baldassar. Because I had, it was in the recovery stages from the open heart surgery, and I was flipping into YouTube channels, which I didn't do a lot then, and I saw his, he had a thing about that watch. Yeah, other people did too, but his was the one that was most memorable to me because he really described it in detail and how how it was a true GMT. It wasn't, it was an actual competitor for the Black Bay GMT. And when I put feelers out for this watch because you couldn't find them, especially the green bezel one was really popular when this first came out. So that was, I might get to see this today if my brother brings it over. I doubt he will. He hides it from me, but I had this one. And yeah, look at the dial on this. The dial on this watch is really great. Probably one of the reasons I like that 5226 Calatrava so much is those Arabics, the way they are on here, are similar to that watch. Not the same. I am not saying they're the same. But this watch, now this is a big watch. It was a 42. It had real long male end links that came out of the bracelet. They really add to the lug of this thing. It was a big piece, and you couldn't get it. So I put in a thing just saying, hey, if one of those, hey, if you get one in, contact me. They did, and I did. They sent me the thing, and I bought it immediately. That's how I've always been on their mailing list and been able to go to some of the events out at Teddy's place. I just went out a few weeks ago and met the lovely and talented and esteemed Jen G, future watchmaker in training, because she lives out that way. So we went over to Teddy's for a little bit, had some lunch. It was nice to meet Jen in person finally, and go check out Teddy's new store, which is so much nicer. The old store was really cramped. This new store is really spread out, really nice. It really did a nice job with it. They sold a ton of Seikos and Tissot while we were there. I think a Tudor too, but they carry a lot of the entry level stuff in the cases there, which is kind of cool. So you can get to see some of these things that you don't normally see. I was happy about that. But this Zulu time, that's my original one. Really, really cool watch. Other things that Longines does well. Let's see. Because I am a big fan of Heritage, the Ultra Chron. Now, they came out with this new dress watch Ultra Chron, which is cool looking. It's fine. It's a high beat movement. I always like that. But it's this diver that I always liked. I always loved this dive watch. High beat Ultra Chron dive watch. The Ultra Chronometer high beat. It's super slick. And you never see it. I like shit you don't see very often, you know? There are really great watches that people own, but you never get to see them. It's a 42 millimeter, I believe. It's got the high beat. Yeah, 49 lug to lug. And it drops straight down, 13.9 thick. 172 grams in weight. Oh, it's a 43. 43. And boy, that's like 30 some grams less weight than I think this one was like 217. But the movement is cool. So most watch group watches beat and what Tim Mosso would call the quirky, what are the 25 2 vibrations per hour, whereas this is a high beat at 36. 52 hours of power reserve. Monocrystalline silicone balance spring, power reserve 52. The bracelet's really cool. Triple safety folding clasp. I don't think it has, yeah, it does not have a micro adjust in it. Should be the one thing you would want. But I gotta tell you, I'm a big fan of the look. Will I ever own one? Will I ever buy one? I don't know. Who knows? Who can tell what a Lucha might do? It's almost impossible to know. We do know what the Lucha will do. He's going to cook ham and cheesy potatoes and asparagus for Easter dinner. Have some rolls, a little olive tray. It'll be a good time. Everyone loves Easter dinner. Easter, the most holy day in the Christian faith. Liberty Spot says he would like that watch if it had a date on it. I actually kind of like it without the date. I like the symmetry of a lot of no date watches. That one, like I said, it's just different looking. It's a different movement. It's a different. Even the bezel has a crystal cover over it. It's got depth to it. It's just neat and different. It's kind of a cushion case-ish, a Jace. I don't know. I've always been a fan. I'm a big Longines guy. We all know that. When people are talking about entry level watches, the Longines is always one that I talk about. I like these Legend Divers a lot. I love this new one. I wish it fit me better. It's quite small, but they don't do the mesh on black anymore. It must just be doing the mesh on the Hydra Conquest now. So I've had that one in the past. I love this yellow one. I don't know why. This thing's kind of cool looking. Dial, the female effect to that kind of yellow dial. I'm not crazy about the yellow strap, but the dial itself in the watch. If you can get one of those Longines mesh bracelets for this, that would be freaking cool. I love that the legend that the diver on the back is not only spearfishing, but he's wearing a watch. Yeah, just a really kind of a cool watch. Different. 2 screw down crowns. This one, Liberty Spot, has a date. On the mesh, it does not have the micro adjust on this one. And I'm pretty sure it was screw pins on this one as well. Those mesh bracelets are made by a company called Stibe in Germany. Really nice job on them. They're thick, they're hardy. But this yellow dial one, I've always thought was just killer for a not so expensive watch. What is this thing? 25 range, I would think. Yeah, 28.50 now. Everything's gone up. Everything indeed is more expensive than it used to be. I like this gray dial one too. I just hate the fact that it only comes on a NATO strap. Nah. Never do that. But the effect of the dial is very cool. Again, I'd have to get a bracelet for it or something instead, but or the rubber strap like the one that I have. Let's see. What I currently have is this one. Come on. Oh my god, these watch websites stink. 3,200 for this one, the black PVD now. Damn. But I own this one with a small strap, and it's cool. But there's no micro adjuster. It's just a double safety folding clasp, synthetic rubber strap. This one, though, we'll say this is the L888, and it does, although it beats a 25.2, it is a 72-hour power reserve watch. Black lacquer, painted Arabic numerals and indices, silvered polished hands, Swiss super lume. I wouldn't call anything about the lume on this super. It's really very basic lume. Your lume on this, let's see what the best picture of the, probably this one. All right, so your lume plots on this. All right, so you have some lume on your hour and minute hand, and then you have 3 rectangles here on side the 12, 9, and 6. I don't know why they didn't put anything by the 3. And then you have your pip, and then these small pieces in here. It looms kind of funky. These small pieces on these other hour, non-quarter hour markers. It's not the best looming watch, but it's a cool looking watch. All things being equal, I think it's a winner. That's just me. I've owned a few. What do you do? How are we doing our upvotes? We are at 16 upvotes. If you're watching on the replay, please smash that like button and upvote the stream. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you know when there is a Lucha show going on. But yes, please like the stream. We do appreciate that. What do you guys think? Longines. I think you get a lot of value there. There's other Longines watches, and I don't even look at that much, but let's take a peek here. Because they have this in their heritage line, you know, you got the Conquest Heritage, the Pilot Magitech. I always liked this sector dial watch. Teddy Baldessari has one of these. I always thought these were good looking. Again, not my size and stuff, but cool Beads Rights bracelet with the sector dial, small seconds. $2,900, I'm sure. On the gray, you can find these in the close to the $2,000 range. Great entry level watch. Phenomenal job with these. Oh, jeez. Hate these things. The Master Collection. People love these things, especially this one, bracelet. This is the Longines Master. Oh, that's the Roman one. It's not the one. Yes, it's this one. With the cut Arabics. Look at that dial. That's a beautiful watch for the money. At $2,700. It's a great watch for the money. There is a ton of value in the Longines collection, even with the new price increases lately. You're not quite a Tudor money. You're getting a long-standing heritage brand. The oldest trademark in watches is the winged hourglass. Then you get into the Conquest collection. I I think these chronographs are good looking. Yeah, we looked at the Hydro Conquest and the Hydro Conquest GMT. I think these Conquest chronographs, 42 millimeter chronographs, these are cool looking watches. I mean, they just really do a nice job. When you're talking about $4,200 on a bracelet with a ceramic bezel, it's a great piece for the money. I think, and again, you can find you can find these on the gray for a lot less. But for the cash, it's pretty cool. I'm not crazy about the butterfly clasp on them, but what are you gonna do? Not every watch needs to be made specifically for lucha. And then they make a Spirit flyback chronograph. That's a cool watch too. Oh, one of these suckers. These are a little bit more. These are. Here's a titanium at 5,900. I think you're closer to 5 in the steel. Look at that watch. That's a flyback chronograph. That is the L791 caliber. Chronograph, central 60 seconds hand, 30-minute counter at 3 o'clock. 28.8 vibrations per hour on this one, with a silicone balance spring and a power reserve of 68 hours. And a flyback chronograph function. Pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think the strap on this one has any micro adjust. No, it does have the easy exchange if you wanted to take it off. So these buttons here, you just push these buttons down and the bracelet just pops right off. So pretty intuitive way of doing it. But the old school 5 holes of micro adjust on the bracelet. Pretty good looking watch for the money. For the cash. The response says, I think maybe Tudor will do a collab with Tiger Woods and Percocet. I'm going to wait to watch the one to decide if I want Longines or a Tudor. There you go. The response. Which Tudor do you like? Oh my God. We talk about Tudors, we might get canceled, but we'll go over to Tudor. I like Tudor. I don't love Tudor. I had that red bezel 5-link Black Bay 41. That was a cool watch. I had the Ranger. That was a cool watch. I had an old Tudor sub back in the day. That was a cool watch. I love the Black Bay Pro if it was bigger. I like these 68s. What kind of Tudors do you guys like? Really just depends. I'd like to see them do something a little different with this, maybe a different colorway or something on this Black Bay 68. I like the 68 for a number of reasons. A, the size. It's a 43 millimeter case. You guys know I like a bigger case. It does have the T-Fit micro adjustment system in it, which is really easy to use. And these 68s do not have, I don't know if they show a side pic of this thing or not, but it does not have the faux rivets, which I've never been a fan of, the faux rivets. Larger Black Bay to round out a full array case size. This one's also the master chronometer. Master chronometer is certification process. It's amagnetic. So it goes through meta certification. 0 to +5. So it won't lose time. Can only gain 5 seconds a day. But a very cool watch. 5-year warranty. This is both COSC and Meta certified. 70-hour power reserve. Screw down crown. 3-link stainless steel bracelet with smooth side flanks and polished and satin finishes with the T-Fit class. T-Fit is a great class. That is one thing they do very well at tuners, the T-Fit class. And the watch itself, it's a pretty watch. I'd like to see some different colorways, but, you know, it's just me. I don't have a good picture of the side of this watch, which is a shame. But it's sunburst style. Like I said, no faux rivets. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, which is probably true, says Liberty Spot. I have a 925 silver, but I've been thinking of completing the Olympic collection and going for the gold and the bronze. Oh, there you go. So you have the silver and you're looking for the gold and the bronze. I think gold, it seems like a lot. Yeah, I'd have to get that secondary. I think you need to get different Tigers. James Cameron Deep Sea was prominently displayed while being cuffed. Sad story. Seagull Tiger. Are you saying that's my future? Bradley says Black Bay Burgundy edit is my favorite. Nice. That's a great watch. I honestly like the Black Bay one on the 5 link. It was a great watch. It really was. That's the 41. So 100% secondary. It's too crazy on retail. Yeah, gold is nuts retail. G Tim in the chat. He says, "Happy Easter, folks. With my hot girlfriend and her mother, plus my kids, I gifted them all Timex watches in their Easter vest. Is that okay?" Yeah, so you got a nice Timex. Make sure it's a good watch, G Tim. I believe that Timex is the official clock supplier to the Volkswagen Jetta. And it's just a rumor I heard. It's just a rumor. Where are we at on our upvotes as we now to wind this thing down here a little bit? 16. We need more upvotes. Johnny O says the Tudor Black Bay Chrono Blue Boutique Edition looks good in person. Slight sunburst on the dial. It's up there. Let's go pull one of those up there, Johnny O. You need a chrono in blue. And this one? Might be this one. I will tell you one thing about these 5-link bracelets on these Tudors that stinks. And one thing that wasn't on the 68 that I liked. This is the biggest scratch magnet on this polished center piece of the glass. You look at it and it scratches. I didn't have that watch very long. One of the reasons I traded it in, it just had so many scratches on it. It was terrible. Terrible, I say. Yes, that is the one. I believe Nashville just sold one for a good price below retail. Beautiful Corona on that Jubilee. Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool bracelet. This piece is annoying. This center polish piece. I mean, it scratched so bad. And I kind of take care of my watches. I mean, this one's going to get some scratch on it because it's so fucking big. But in general, I don't, stuff's in really good shape. And this, well, yeah, those are good watches. Very good, very cool watches. We liked them a lot, actually. We'll go ahead and look over at Nashville, see what they got for sale. My tab. I'm missing my tab. All right, let's see what the good folks over at Nashville Watch have for sale. They have a Black Bay chronograph for sale for $42.50. These are nice looking watches. These pilot watches, these 43 millimeter pilot watches are great. I just sold one of these, $14,750. There you go. That's a great watch too. Anything else interesting and new in here? We love interesting and new watches. Well, they got the solid white gold Sprite. That's an expensive piece. The 2023 Bluesy for $18,150. Submariner dates, Submariner no dates. Oh, there you go. Here's my watch. They got a couple of them. Oh, one's black. So here's the thing that I like about the 24. Mine was a December 23 card. The 24, it doesn't say Sea Dweller on it anymore. So you only have 4 lines of text below the handset. Now, what's different about that from, let's see, the black one. What year is it? Oh, it may have Deep Sea on the bottom. Oh, no, it doesn't. It has Sea Dweller and Deep Sea. So you have Deep Sea above the hand stack and Sea Dweller below. But it's really muted. It looks bigger because of the all black dial. I've seen it in person a few times. I've been offered it. Never cared for it. Here's 2 watches that I've always liked. You believe Brian and George just both picked this watch up. The Yachtmaster Blue Dial. Beautiful. The Superman, if you will. Absolutely gorgeous watch. You have to like that relief bezel to be into that one, I guess. And then this watch, this is just a classic. The Explorer 2 Polar. Absolute classic. The little spot of orange in Explorer and the orange GMT hand. Kind of set that dial off a little bit. And the white. That's, I always say you can, add that watch to your current Rolex and have they just sold a Ultra. They just sold the Pelagos Ultra. Good for them. That's a fine wearing watch. I think it's expensive for what it is, but great watch. Just the same. Let's see. What else do we want to see here? What are these? I love this watch. So I've always thought this is just a classic looking watch. Here's another one I could do for a retirement watch. It's a 2-tone black dial Datejust on Oyster with a fluted bezel. It's the best combo. You got the best bracelet, the best bezel, amazing dial. You get rid of that Cyclops, it would be perfect. But in many ways, it is a perfect watch. That's a 21 for $13,950. That doesn't seem like a bad price for it. Stuff's usually in pretty good condition. Bought a few watches here. No issues. No issues getting through their site. They got the beige OP41 and the green OP41. Asking more for the green, which is, I don't know if that's good or bad. Chelsea Polaris, Santos Ducarte, on Pawn 50 Fathoms. He's got a pretty good stuff. Zenith Defy Extreme Diver. Ugh. There's a lot going on there. Some Omegas, a couple white Speedies. Oh, he's got the new reverse Panda Speedy. 10650. I think that's right around retail. Unworn 2026. It's a great watch. It's cool looking. That new Speedy brace is really comfortable. I mean, it tapers really thin the back. It's really, really comfortable. And I don't know what they do to that clasp, but that's almost impossible to scratch. I've had a few of them and never put a scratch on the clasp on one. That's a great piece. This website's annoying that you have to keep going back. Let's go check the chat. I haven't checked the chat in a while. I'm trying to get a brains. Liberty 5 seen them for 43 to 45. At Nashville, the yellow gold day date with the white dial and Romans is my favorite. That's a great watch. We'll go look that one here before we head on out the door. I have to run, boys. Lego Lamb is room temperature time and it's starting to get in gear. Everybody have a happy Easter, Liberty Spot. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for adding to my enjoyment of Instagram every day. Let's find this watch. There it is. This is a classic. This is an absolute stunning classic watch. Look at that. Day date, gold, white, Roman numerals. One of the reasons I like the white dial is the white background on the day and date. Match the dial. 45 grand. A lot of money. Solid gold watch. Solid gold Rolex. Rufus! Happy Easter, sir. Long time no chat. Good to see you guys. Remember to hit the upvote button. We're going to go for... I do have to start some meal prep here soon, so we'll go for another 10 minutes. I appreciate everybody for stopping by, and happy Easter to everyone. Leg of lamb. Who doesn't love a good leg of lamb? I want to go to Liberty Spot's house for Easter dinner. Sounds like they're having a good time. But that the yellow, gold, white Roman dial, Johnny O, is amazing. Hard to beat. I think the day date is the epitome of just a classic watch. You know, I just think that piece is stunning. I'm a huge fan of the blue overseas. And you get some extra straps with it. Who doesn't love extra straps? This is another contender for it. I dig this bracelet. The blue, these pictures do not do the blue justice on this dial. Mo wears his with the, I believe it's an orange rubber strap sometimes. That is every time I see it, I just go goofy. Mario says, I agree with you. Yeah, it's just, the day date is just, if you ask someone to describe a watch, to draw a watch, it's probably going to look like either a sub or a day-date, right? I mean, those are the two best styles of watches. But this Vacheron, that is a lovely, sexy watch. Let's go down here and see what they got. They got Explorer 40 in black. A little expensive, maybe. Another classic looking watch. These OPs, I love the OPs. Frank Mueller Vanguard Crazy Hours in titanium. Nice. He's got a new Planet Ocean with the blue bezel, black dial. It's $76.50. That seems like a deal. That's a good watch too. It's cool. Mad One Green Edition, $3,600. I don't understand those that much. And a couple Tudor chronographs. He's got the blue, $46.50. Very cool. Lots of cool watches. Tonio agrees with me on the bracelet on the Overseas. So, yeah, it's a cool bracelet. Really is. It's a cool watch. The way the bezel is, the bracelet, the blue. I mean, there's a lot to like. The interchangeable straps and bracelet. There's a lot to like about that as a timepiece. All right, we're coming up on our 8-minute Easter meal prep warning. Got to get some prep done, for God's sakes. What's everyone going to eat if I don't get that done? Penguins will be on today. That reminds me to wear my VC with the white rubber strap for spring, but the Land Dweller has not left my wrist since I bought it at the end of the day. I don't blame you. The Land, again, I wasn't sold on that at first. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't sure I liked it. I saw a couple cool videos, some cool pictures from Mo when he got his. I got to try one on at the AD. They had I think it was the day I bought the Deep Sea, actually. It was. Because I actually tried to make some kind of deal on one of these. It didn't work out. But when you try it on, the bracelet's amazing on this one. It is so good. And the dial, although you think, well, maybe I don't like that weird kind of honeycomb, actually works. If I made one change, gonna make one change to this watch, I would take out the date and do a 369, or leave the date and just do all markers, all indices instead of Arabics. Probably the only criticism I have, and that's just minor. It's really minor. The bezel, the fluted bezel, is not quite as fluted as like a Day-Date or a Datejust. A little more subdued. But the light play of that watch, it catches every little piece of light and just makes it pop. It really pops. The watch really, really pops. The bezel pops. The dial pops. The bracelet super pops. And, it's an integrated sports bracelet watch. If you like that, it's cool. It's really, really cool. But we're winding down here. Guys, we are... where are we at in our efforts? Hold on. my screen doing? What is my screen doing? 21 upvotes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. If you haven't hit the upvote or if you're watching on the replay, please give us a like. We do appreciate it. A couple more minutes here, and we're going to go start Easter dinner. Getting everything ready. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the Landwehr? I have come around on this watch. I know Mo loves his. I don't blame him for not taking off. Johnny O, thanks for stopping by. Always good to see Johnny O. Still remember the first time I ever got to chat with him. On the back room of probably an old Tim stream or something, maybe. Johnny O, good man. Great collection. Knows what he likes. We appreciate that. And unlike me, who always is changing his mind, you just never know. You just never know what I'm going to end up wearing. Right now, I'm wearing this. My next door neighbor is in love with this watch. Every time I see him, he comes over and he wants to see it. He loves this watch. I should probably sell it to him. His kids love this watch. His wife loves this watch. What's really not to love about the James Cameron? If you got the wrist for it, I highly recommend it. It is thick. I will give you that. It is a big, thick, chunky monkey of a watch. But it's cool as hell. Really. You know? When you see other Rolexes in the wild and yours is way bigger, people are like, oh, shit. If somebody has a GMT Master 2 and a 40, this is a substantially bigger one. It's substantially bigger than a 41 sub. So I measured it at like 44.2 or 44.4 when I did my measurements. Just under 18 thick. Around 52 lug to lug. It's a big chunky piece of kit, but it's cool as all get out. Has the coolest glide lock system on it. The gradient dial is amazing. The signal green deep sea text pops. Like I said, oftentimes a lot of lights it looks black. Then you get it out into you get this thing in sunlight. It just shines like no one's business. But that being said, we're getting ready to looch our way on out. I want everyone to have a great Easter. If you do not celebrate the Easter, then have a great day. Have a great day. For those of you that do celebrate, it is the biggest day of the year. He is risen. It's the biggest day of the year. Coincidentally, one of the biggest Rolex they make. I know they make the Deep Sea Challenge. That looks unwearable. But this highly wearable. If you have the wrist for it. You got to have the wrist for it. I imagine it's very top heavy watch. I can imagine it could be annoying on the other thing. But I have to say, I say this every week. I have to say, this, make a little adjustment, boom, on the wrist. Don't even have to take it off. Open the clamshell, open the Deluxe glide lock system, and you're all set. It's no Landwehr. Landwehr is cool in a completely different way. But yeah, so that was the day I went to, I stopped at the Rolex AD, and I was actually thinking about buying this watch. But we just couldn't quite make a deal. So I went to see about trading in because I had the green sub and the turquoise Aquaterra. I had a lot of green coming through when I was wearing. So I thought, well, maybe I'll trade this in on a black Aquaterra. But I never got the chance because as soon as I walked in, I saw that they had a James Cameron. I was like, I love the James Cameron. What kind of deal can we make on this? They gave me substantially more for the Submariner and substantially more for the um, Aquaterra. So I ended up with 3 watches for 2. Basically 21 grand, and they gave me 21 grand in trade. And I ended up with this black, which I still need the new bracelet for because it's killing me. Legend Diver, which is a great watch. Cool watch. And I always looked at, they've had this in their case forever. This Raymond Weil Freelancer GMT. It's not an amazing watch in any way, shape, or form, with the exception of I love the dial. The dial on it's just really beautiful. It's a GMT and it's got 2 crowns and they're both screw down. It's cool. Leather strap, deployment buckle, signed crowns. And let's see, I have a GMT timer on the 1 crown. And of course, this thing. Boom. Best dial going. So that ended up being a pretty, I mean, they gave me so much more for the 2 watches and just made the deal real easy. That's here. If you guys are looking for something here, I tell you all the time, man, head over to Joyce's Jewelers. They have Omega, Breitling, Oris, Norcane, Hamilton, Michelle, Bulova, Zodiac. And they always have a nice selection of pre-owned watches. Go flip through some of their pre-owned here real quick. Milgauss, 39 Explorers, some other stuff. This Glashütte is beautiful. This CQ Panorama date. Very nice watch. 11.9, not a bad price on it either. 8 grand for this murdered out black 300M. That's a cool watch for the money. You can get my old turquoise Aquaterra. Great watch. If you're really rich, you can buy it and sell it and give it back to me. Just kidding. Norcane. Oh, they got a black. They got a black one too in the used section. These are great watches. I am a big fan of the black lacquer. It's actually what I was thinking. Well, I'll just trade the turquoise for the black. That way I won't have all green. And I ended up with 3 different watches. Who knows? You never know how this stuff is going to work out. Kurt used to have that Glashütte. It's really nice. It is. It's really cool. Panorama date ones are cool. I'm not as big a fan of the smaller one without the panorama date, but the panorama date is really cool. If you so get the chance. Guys, I've gone 18, 19 minutes past what I need to do. I need to get some meal prep going. Everyone, have a great Easter. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. If you haven't hit the upvote, please do that on your way out. You guys are the best. We did get made a little StreamYard money. We had Robert Wood reminding everyone to have a good morning and a happy Easter. Liberty Spot with a happy Easter message. Mo, our friend in the UK with the Land Dwellers and so many years on cars. He's asking about retirement watches. And JB with the super sticker. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate everyone so much. You guys, we're just trying to keep the lights on. We don't try and make it crazy. And I will see you guys later. Everyone, be good. Happy Easter. Happy whatever you celebrate. Enjoy your family. Lucha is heading